Going to start recording now. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining. Hopefully we can learn a little bit from each other and have some input. I do want to show you how I'm using Repairshopr ticket automations and how it has drastically helped our internal working since January. When we implemented this, we've cut our outstanding tickets count almost in half. And start by showing you how I did that. And then if you guys have any questions, unmute yourself and ask, or post in the chat there. And if I'm going too quick or you need more detail, just let me know, and we'll get started here. I see a few people joining, so we might wait just a minute actually. Does anyone have any questions or specifics that they want me to try and reach today? I'm hoping to cover all this in about an hour. Can everyone see my screen and hear me okay, I assume? Okay, so I'm going to start here with showing you, to do this, I had to start with ticket issue types. And I made these basically to match our setting. We have in-store walk-in traffic still, which is anything over the counter. Break fix I use for anything that we do that is outside the store, not a managed client. Service call work, anything that will be billable. Managed service tickets are obviously what they state. They're for customers, clients that we have on retainers. Design services is for our website and logo design projects. Projects is for long-term tickets, server migrations, network build-outs, cabling jobs. Sales, obviously, is for anything that we need to quote, order, more long-term than a point-of-sale transaction. Internal is how I'm using Repairshopr to track our issues internally that we need to address, including my HR, employee reviews, requests off, and so on. And then RM obviously is monitoring alert generated from our RMM and backup solutions. System statuses, this is what comes default in Repairshopr and how I'm using those. New, obviously, is any ticket that first is open. That's our default status, and I trigger automations off of that. I'll get into that here more in depth. Everything else is kind of self-explanatory. I did, type out a purpose. This is what I give my staff for training and reference. And then here are my custom statuses, and I'll share this document with you guys. Need approval. The trigger is what I use to trigger the automation. I see, Gerald, you're not getting audio. Is everyone else getting audio okay? Okay. Okay, so the need approval is a status I created. And my trigger for that is the upgrade comment. Whether it's on client-facing side or the tech-only side. And for internal reference, we always call it green comment. Clients can see. Yellow comments are internal only. And the purpose, if we need approval for a part or spending limit. And you'll see it here in a moment when I go through our workflow how the trigger and the purpose relate. Waiting on vendor, the trigger is a manual status, and you'll see in a moment I've got a handful of those that I can't, for the life of me, figure out how to automate because it requires a outside or third-party action. And you'll see how I'm doing triggers for the assigns, ready, in-store, and this references back to issue type when we have to have those set up, because a complete comment on an in-store ticket will do something different from a complete comment on a managed services ticket. again, needs reviewed, SLA breach, parts received, and so on. And I will share this document with everybody here in just a moment. So this is what I had to build out first in order to get automations to work for me finally in a productive manner. When it rolled out a few months ago, I thought it was a useless tool that made no sense. And then I kind of backpedaled and figured out you've got to build out certain segments before automations will work. So let's get to looking at that. So here in ticket preferences, this is where I did my issue types that I covered a moment ago. Custom fields, I did generate these, and the reason I did the parentheses, IS, BF, MS, is so I know what those fields relate to when it comes to an issue type. And I'm working on worksheets now. Hopefully we'll address that in the future to relate more specifically to these. So let me show you a ticket here real quick. Okay, so our standard practice is we always do the subject of what it is and a description of the device if we have it in store. So I'm just going to say this one here is going to be service call, printer issue. Issue type would then be break fix. Description, printer jams. And then the tech, when I select the tech here, it's either going to be Nick or Shay, and this is going to trigger an automation. I'll show you here in a moment. And all my automations tie back to issue type and my tech. So we approve it, we pre-diagnose it, and this one does not have an SLA. Let's create a ticket here. Okay, now that I have this information here, this is what's going to trigger my automations. Looking at that and these subjects here. I'm going to do a diagnosis real quick. I'm going to say printer jams in rear door. I do require time on all of mine, so my techs are required to make time entries. And I'm going to say ticket update. And here in a moment, that status will then change to in progress. Or, yeah, in progress. So I did diagnostics. There we go. Change to in progress. And it would have fired off an automation that I would have received when I, as a client, that Nick has been assigned your ticket. So let's take a look at those. Okay, here's a list of all of my automations. Everything from ticket has been assigned, priority changed to normal. Those are for tickets that come in through leads that do not have priorities assigned to them. SLA breach, 30-day notice, abandoned asset assigned to me, assigned to Shay. And let me just show you that here real quick. This is one thing our clients have really liked. When a ticket is created and goes to dispatch, if it's assigned to me, or if it, in another case, if it's assigned to Shay, my condition is assigned to is Nick Lenius. Ticket status is new. It's going to change the status to assigned, and it's going to email the customer or the contact, your ticket has been assigned, and it's going to have a little generic blurb. It says, hi, this is Nick. And it's going to tell them I'm the tech working on their ticket. Everyone has really liked this because it's a form of a confirmation that their ticket has been received. Okay, and the next thing, we've got that for each. Parts needed is a comment. needs scheduled, resolve pending, and see this again, back to my issue types. DS is a design service because I want a different resolution on design tickets than I want on in-store or managed services tickets. Ticket is ready. Ticket issue type is in-store. And this has been really handy for Shay internally when we do our tickets. The ticket issue type is in-store. Ticket last comment is completed. Change status to ready. And assigned to Ashley, which is our customer service / office manager / billing. She knows now she can finalize that invoice and notify the customer that their device is ready to be picked up in the store. Stale ticket notifications, and this has helped us cut our lost or stale tickets down tremendously. If a ticket has gone 72 hours without an update from us or the client, it's marked as stale, so we know, do we need to follow up on that? Did it get resolved and just not closed, or what it might be? Same thing with idle. If a ticket is in progress and hasn't been updated by us or the client for 2 hours, and it is not, this is where I do a lot of is not one of these current statuses, it goes to idle and sends us a notification so we know we previously had a ticket, device, or something on the bench or on site that we have not updated. I'm playing around with Slack integrations. It posts to our Slack channel and change status to idle. Resolve pending, again, this comes back to the ticket issue type where I did the shortcodes for MS. If it's a managed services client, managed services ticket, last comment is completed and not updated in 1 hour. I put a time limit in here. So if the issue is not completely resolved or the client emails back within that hour, it'll keep it open. Otherwise, at 1 hour, it emails the ticket customer or contact. A short blurb that I made shows their ticket number, what the subject was, and I have addressed your issue on ticket number. I'm going to set your ticket as resolved pending. Should you not have any further issues, we'll consider your issue resolved in 24 hours. And this keeps our managed services tickets that have no billing, no billing tied to them. It keeps them auto closing and resolved. Change status to resolve pending. And I'll show you here in a moment. Once resolve pending, then it goes to this status, resolve pending to resolved. Ticket status is resolve pending, not updated in 24 hours. That means we solved the issue and the client never reported having the issue again. Then we email the customer, contact, your ticket has been resolved. And it's a feedback. It's an HTML feedback, and I'll show you guys that in a moment. Embedded through customer thermometer. Change status to resolved, and then it's considered closed out of our system. Waiting on customer, this again is triggered by a comment. Ticket last comment is contacted. Change status to waiting on customer. Needs approval, same thing. New or needs assigned. This one right here is a ticket that comes in. Ticket status is in new and it's not assigned to one of us. And this is how I drive my SLAs. It assigns, if it's not assigned to one of us, it goes to our dispatch board, automatically assigns to Ashley, and then she knows she needs to assign it to a tech. And we keep working through here from needs assigned, approval, parts received. Everything in here is driven by a comment. And that goes back, I'm going to show you how I'm doing some of my comments here in just a moment. That is an overview of how I'm doing my statuses and how I'm triggering automations. And we'll go a little more in detail here in just a moment. That references back to here. Again, how each status, a trigger, and a purpose. And this is posted on my wall, Ashley and Shay's wall, so they understand how they can drive it. There's 7 manual items that they're allowed to change a status on tickets. Everything else, I want statuses changed by comments. So right here, if they don't have a marker, they're system tickets. The asterisk means it needs attention or it requires a third-party outside action of Repairshopr, is how I've done that. So they know if it's a percent sign, for example, that means myself or Shay would manually set that to need scheduled, and then that would trigger an automation to assign to Ashley. She would then reach out to the end client or check my schedule or Shay's schedule and set an appointment. Parts need ordered. Again, parts request, that would mean something outside of Repairshopr needs to happen. Parts need ordered, for example, we'll go to Amazon or a distributor and order the part, and then come back, make a comment, change the status to parts ordered. 30-day notice, we send a physical letter, so that's something that has to happen outside. Same thing with abandon. That means the device has not been picked up and it needs the next step. We either salvage it or refurb it. But before my statuses, that's why each thing has some kind of a symbol before it. Means if it's automatic or needs a outside action, and you'll see those here as well. Abandons, time-based, and so on. And let's see where we're going here. Okay, let's go back to our automations. Okay, let's find one with a comment. Result pending needs approval. Parts received. Okay, parts received, for example. Ticket comment is parts arrival. Change status to parts received. See how it has the asterisk? That means that will get my tech's attention that says, okay, there's something that happened outside Repairshopr that I now need to go back and look at that ticket. Any questions to this point? Okay, no questions, so we're going to move on. Let's go back here. Get the custom feeds. Okay. So this goes back to custom fields. This is where I'm building out a little more yet. Break fix support request, for example, I would manage it here. It tells me what service type is, client type, and we're going to say service type. I have it, is it going to be remote support or service call? Client type, if it's going to be residential or commercial, and then billing type, if tech should collect on site or if it will be billed, and then just general information, if there's a PO number associated with the billing, who the site contact is, who requested it, and then my work type here, if it's going to be hardware, network, software, server, workstation. You can tie ticket automations to these to get more detailed in what you can do. Assign worksheets and so on. I've emailed Troy a few times trying to enhance that a little bit more. Let's go back here. Okay, now back to ticket automations. You can get as many fields as you want to. Let me find one with a lot of content in it to show you. I'll look at idle ticket, for example. You want to have your is and is not detailed out so it don't run. The first week or so that we implemented these automations, we had stuff going to idle in invoice status, waiting for part status and stuff we didn't want. And that's where I came in and I did the is not statuses. And since then, we haven't had any issues. I'll show you our ticket board here real quick. I've got 2 idle from this morning that I was working on and looped back to. And I've got some stales, parts need ordered, needs reviewed, assigned, and so on. And I can look at these and know that automations will trigger based on the issue type. If there's ones that have other, no automation will run on these until they've been updated with issue type. And I haven't figured out how to do that in automation yet. Anything you guys want to see otherwise on here? Questions or anything? Okay, I'll continue. I did just a little more tidbit on how I have my Repairshopr set up. I do use the advanced search and saved boards. Here's our dispatch board, for example. These are tickets that require something for Ashley to do. She needs to order parts, or if there were any new tickets here, they would be sitting in that until an automation ran or she assigned them. I have my tickets, Shay tickets. Our daily review is for our morning meetings. I look at those, and these are segregated out. Ones I want to know what the status is on each one. I don't look at ones that are invoiced and such. For example, they're just ones that need action, stale, or have been in here a while. And accounting border for tickets that are invoiced. Canute is one of our larger clients, so I separate out their tickets so I can knock out as many as possible. Idle tickets, I like to look at tech borders, anything that's in progress, dispatch, my tickets, Shay's tickets, and so on. And then let's go back to right here's where I did my ticket status list. As you can see, everything that I set in as our custom statuses, and that's all in the document I will share. Any questions or anything else you guys would like to see that I can cover? This went a little quicker than I anticipated, so I can drill down on any features or any automations that you'd like to see. Sure, I can show you some Slack. Okay, here's how I have our Slack channels set up. Again, I have a few specific clients in here that we do a lot of work for. Bench is anything that's in store. General is what we use to just talk back and forth. Inventory we use for sharing anything we need to order inventory wise. License keys, we actually, I'm not going to click on it, but we maintain our client license keys in there as a kind of a database. Use some different fonting and stuff in Slack, and it's searchable that way. We have the free Slack subscription. Marketing notifications, this is where, if you see, this is when an automation in Repairshopr runs. So you can see here, ticket is set as in progress, has been idle for 2 hours. Please check status of this ticket. And it shows who it's assigned to, what the subject is, and who the customer is. And we get those throughout the day, so we know to go back. This has been a tremendous help as far as moving things along. Again, passwords we have locked. We keep some client passwords in here just so it's easy to reference back to. Random is completely unwork related stuff that we BS back and forth on. Reminders I use for myself to trigger reminders of stuff I need to do. Service calls, Ashley posts here when there's a service call, and I respond back to her if I'm on site or leaving, so she kind of knows where I'm at. And then we use a vendor channel to keep vendor specific information in. So that is Slack. We have our webhooks set up. You can go Slack channel to each webhook, or a webhook for each specific channel, I should say, and have it post and notify accordingly. Let me look at a ticket automation. I'll show you how I have that set up with idle tickets. Okay. And the message actually comes from here. I had designed that. So whatever's in the message box is what will appear in Slack. Let's see. I do use Zapier for some, more for marketing automation. I saw Matt posted that. I don't use it for any automations inside of Repairshopr. I use Zapier for automations between Repairshopr and MailChimp right now. And let me show you guys a feedback email. I can actually go through an entire process and show you guys real quick. I'm working on Marketer, trying to trigger some automations. So let me show you guys here real quick. Okay, and I do have our staff trained on check-in to go through all this process. Insert canned responses. I do have them, and we are driving to know what needs to be done. I have ticket notes that text will make, so we know what needs to be added, and then work order comments. This is what our dispatch uses when they create the comment. So let's just, for example, let's just insert this here. Okay, my custom field is going to be managed services, reactive support. I'm going to say it was requested by, let's just say Matt, for example. Let's say he emailed it in. Work type is going to be, he's got a workstation problem. Subtype is going to be connectivity issue, and I'm going to have to go on site for this. So I'm going to create my ticket. Okay, again, we go back to ticket info, how everything is completed here. Here in just a moment, that should be assigned. Let me open my Outlook, I'll show you guys. There we go. That's the old one from earlier. Here, I'll start a trade. I know this automation is quicker. Okay, now if I was Ashley, I'd be in her office. Okay, now see, here's the email one that just came in. I'm going to open this. This would be Ashley's job. She's going to edit these. So she just clicks change. Ticket status is new. Issue type is going to be managed services, for example. Proceed, going to assign it to me. And then she's going to fill this same thing out just like I just did. Okay, now I should have received an email that was assigned. There we go. That's not the right one. Repairshopr sometimes has a delay in when the automations run. We'll wait a moment or so for that to process and run through. And while we're waiting, I'll show you. Where's assigned to me? See, it's still sitting there. So I'll go ahead and run that now. So you guys can see, run now. I should receive an email. There we go. There's my Repairshopr trigger automation. It shows me, hi, this is Nick. I've been assigned your ticket. Gives me that information. And this is what the client would see on the other end. And then we go back to Repairshopr. Let's work those tickets. And there we go. Now that they've been assigned to me, that automation ran, moved them to my queue from dispatch. So now I can see I have those 2 tickets here. Okay, now let's make a comment here. I fixed your issue. And then this is going to trigger an email. This one here. I'm going to, just to show you guys, I'm going to delete this off real quick. I deleted the 1 hour time limit, so now it should show me this ticket here. Well, should run almost instantaneous. Right here, I fixed your issue. So now once this completes here in a moment, I will show you how I am getting mine. I'm going to delete my time limit here again real quick. Make notes to myself to go back and put those in. Okay, so now next run tickets. See, this should show up here in just a moment. Okay, there's my resolve pending, almost instantaneous. I should get one back here in just a moment. That will send my survey. Two and 6. Should pick up and run here in a moment. The question is, do surveys go to all clients? Yes, I have one survey that goes to managed clients and a different feedback survey that goes to in-store clients. While we're waiting on this, let's see. I just want to see if this will run yet. Some tickets run instantaneous and some Repairshopr I think has a 15-minute delay. I'm going to show you my marketer real quick while we work on that to trigger. Yes, on my managed clients, they get a customer thermometer feedback. That looks something like this. This right here goes, this one through marketer goes through my in-store. All of my in-store clients, customers get this as the 2-week follow-up in Repairshopr. And then my managed clients get a similar email to this that have the same icons after every ticket. I want to know how we're doing and ask, make sure my, our response times are being met and so on. I can show you real quick what. I can show you my feedback form for managed clients here real quick. A link is sent to this for my managed clients. And this is how I rate. These are, I asked 5 questions. Response time, how friendly were we? How well do we understand, communicate, rate your overall experience, and then I get feedback comments here. And that's just done through Google Forms. And this is where I was playing with Marketer. I'm not using that right now. It's a little finicky. See, I'm waiting on that to generate. But it shows it's processed from Repairshopr yet, but it hasn't actually sent. So don't know what the delay is there. Customers don't usually see the delay because they don't know when the comment was made. There's nothing in my next run, but I have a resolve pending out there, so it'll pick it up and run it in a few minutes. Status is resolved pending. Yeah, and I'm just waiting on that to run. So. Customer thermometer, it's okay. I'm not getting as many feedbacks as I thought I would. But again, there's a 2-week delay on them through Marketer. So right here, and that's the nice thing on ticket comments. Everything in orange was automated, so you can go back and look and see. So it's changed to result pending, but it hasn't ran the next automation. It's just not a queue. Use Google Doc for each type. I was doing that for a while, and I just signed up for customer thermometer trial in February. So I've only been running that about a month. I just use Repairshopr right now to trigger it. That's just what I have set up for the demo. Okay, while we wait on that, it's just one of those automations that'll probably take a moment to update. And since I deleted the 24-hour time after this ticket was changed to resolve pending, it may not run for 24 hours. So, any other questions on what you guys want to see in my Repairshopr, how I've got it set up, or more detail on automations or tickets statuses? I built out all of the automations over a weekend, and it took us about a week of actual live usage to work through the growing pains of it. Overall, with Repairshopr, we've been with them for almost 4 years now, and it's just been tweaking off and on. I'll show you guys, well, if you want to see how I'm using Wiki. Again, this is something else I'm diving into. We're doing, I'm building this out. Trying to use it here. We're trying to document KB articles for our internal use, some SOPs, tech tips, notes, fixes, vendor information. Here's a template I created. This is what I copied to all of our customers. that we maintain this information for. And this is the kind of stuff we keep in here. Let's see if I can show you one that we've got set up. Partner portals, those are things we use, like our just links to like our RMM with stuff like that, so our techs can find it easily. I built out a little more table, but since it's being recorded, I don't want to show the Calyptics because it does have credentials on it. But here, I'll tell you what I'll do.